SO from Mezam ordered the arrest of some drivers accused of monitoring passengers around the makeshift motor parks and Bamboo Four Corners for kidnap and demand for ransom.
All those who were involved in that type of activities, they have been arrested.
As a result, the common man is already feeling the pinch, with hundreds of passengers stranded in Bamenda, just as in the towns and villages affected.
People are suffering because of these things. We don't come up with Douala since yesterday. Today, right now, we never people go right down for our place.
At the My 4 motor park in Quen, all is almost grounded, even the small market, which depends on the park.
I think for 2 years we have never been telling the President of Toba that the driver sector of Bamboo is not willing to join the trade union.
To prevent further troubles, some drivers say the administration should regularize the transport sector.
During this situation, if you go to Mobile, you will see that Cameroonians are suffering. So we are pleading that the governor, the mayors.
Now the only way out is going from Bamenda to Babajo, Buda, Bafusam, Fumbot, Kutaba, Fumban, Magba, and back to Jakiri in the northwest region. These for the nail-biting fare of 12,000 francs CFA instead of 2,500 francs CFA. This latest traveling nightmare has come to add to that of Bamenda, Bali, for the past 3 weeks. It was a frank talk between the Conchis community in Womb Division, Northwest region of Cameroon, and their foreign His Royal Majesty Cho Wilson as they came out from the 5 regions of the country to talk peace and reconciliation. They converged over the weekend in Cameroon's economic city Douala. Kejan Henry Atembe reports.
There was no better arena for the people of Cochin in the Menchum Division northwest of Cameroon to speak their minds and reconcile with their spiritual leader than in Douala, which harbors a majority of displaced persons from the war-torn northwest region. They met in Douala on August 7, 2021 to right the wrongs and talk peace.
They should tell their various brothers who are in the bushes to drop their weapons and come and join us back to live a normal life as a normal human being. Also to let them understand that the tension in the northwest and southwest is gradually dropping down and reducing, that they are suffering a lot out here. We have given numerous assistance with the Minister of Administration to them. I am calling on them to go back home.
From the center, the southwest, west, littoral and northwest regions, the Cochins communion and reflected on the plight of the conflict-ridden village.
We are very, very happy. As people have heard, things are unveiling. The phone has said it all and has made us to know his mind. And from today we are convinced that our phone is a real person to rule us.
Presently, the village has been deserted, with many living in the bushes as a result of the standoff between the military and separatist fighters. The spiritual leader of Cochin, Cho Wilson, beckons on his subjects to reconcile with themselves, go back to the village, and flag off the school year. The sons and daughters of Cochin were drilled on the procedures to acquire land which, according to their development association, Kodeka, will free them from trouble. Traditional dances rented the air with nostalgia of going back home. While they say home is home, the Cochin say caution is caution.
He was hailed for calling President Paul Biya for not to run for the 7th term in 2018 presidential elections, despite still being an advisor. Christian Penda Ekoka, an astute economist, many say has died without seeing his dream of a reform Cameroon come true. Regina Leketandang paints a picture of the man, Christian Penda Ekoka.
Born on March 21st, 1952 in Douala, Christian Penda Ekoka attended the Collège Liberman, where he obtained a baccalaureate with distinction. He would later win a scholarship to study engineering at the École Polytechnique of Montreal in Canada and an MBA in economics and management. On his return to Cameroon, Christian Penda Ekuka held several top management positions for several years before officially picking up a high-profile Unity Palace job as President Paul Biya's advisor in 2010. However, in July 2018, while still being advisor to the head of state, Christian Penda Ekuka took the nation by storm when he announced he would not support the 7th-term candidacy of Mr. Biya for the October 2018 presidential elections. He would later announce his alliance with opposition leader Maurice Kamto of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement Party. On January 28, 2019, the father of 3 was arrested in Douala alongside Maurice Kamto and Abel Zonga. After spending months in prison, they were released without charge in October 2019. But the relationship between Maurice Kamto and Mr. Ekuka will soon turn sour over an initiative called Agi, the latter initiated to raise funds under Suvi Cameroon to support victims of COVID-19, with Penda Ekuka expressing his frustrations over the management of these funds by the CRM led by Maurice Kamto. He died on Sunday, August 8, 2021 in Canada after succumbing to pancreatic cancer at 69. Major political figures including Maurice Kamto, Ka Wala, Serge Espoir Matomba and Cabral Libi have described his demise as a huge loss to the nation.
Of recent, deviant ways of life have enveloped Cameroonian society. It is common to find sex tape scandals and nude videos going viral against a human dignity. In a pastoral letter, the Metropolitan Archbishop of Douala, Samuel Kleder, condemns the rise of deviant behaviors in Cameroonian society today. Kejan Henry Atembe reports.
The Metropolitan Archbishop of Douala, His Excellency Samuel Kleder, has condemned in very strong terms the rise in deviant ways of life in Cameroon. In a long pastoral letter to the government, the forces of law and order, parents, youths, the laity, Christians and civil society organizations, Archbishop Kleder actually called the spade by its name. He says immorality has eaten very deep in the fabrics of the Cameroonian society, with obscene images going viral on social media of recent.
Our law forbids homosexuality. Our law does not accommodate cyber criminality and all of the rest. I mean, these are things that when they are in the rise in Cameroon today, and we don't hear of any legal action that is taken against such attitudes when they happen. And if at all the legal actions are taken, they are not appropriate. Maybe because of the influence of the people at the top, because we understand that our judiciary system is not very free.
Archbishop Kleder says sex tape, nude videos of sex galore, incest, human trafficking, social media sex networks have come to add to the long list of existing deviant ways of life. All these, according to the prelate, are against human dignity and the teachings and doctrines of the church. He has called on the society to take its responsibility.
On the occasion of the World Indigenous Peoples Day celebrated this August 9, 2021, our reporter Regina Leketanan takes us to Lendi, a small village located 4 kilometers from Kribi, where the Bantu and Pygmies who were brought out of the forest to live together have challenges. Her story.
In Lendi, a small village located 4 kilometers from Kribi, I found the indigenous people, the Bagalis, who share their village with the Mambes. It was the government that realized that living in the bush was not a good thing, and so brought the 2 clans from the bush to live together. A cohabitation between the Pygmy and the Bantu, which hasn't come without frictions. Living together with the Bantu people is not easy. The Bantu people want to take our land, and we cannot allow that. They do it such that if we think we are not okay, we should abandon the land and go back to the forest. It's not easy to live with the Bantu. They have their own mentality, which we do not understand. Well, we too have our own mentality, which they do not understand. The Bantu people have also reproached what they describe as uncompromising behavior of the Bagalis. We are very worried with the mentality of the Pygmies. They do not want to cultivate, they don't want to do agriculture, but they spend time invading people's farms to harvest crops that don't belong to them. As Cameroon joins the rest of the world to celebrate the International Day of Indigenous People this August 9, 2021, the real indigenous people here say they have not been taken into consideration. We are the indigenous people. I believe on a day like this, we need to celebrate. Either we are made to sit on tables and voice our concerns, or we organize local events here, but nothing. We do not have ID card. They say to make an ID card, we need birth certificates. But we do not know how to go about this. Set aside by the United Nations, the International Day of World's Indigenous People seeks to protect and defend the rights of a people often underlooked.
We have come to the end of this edition of the news, but don't go away, for we'll have the French version coming up at exactly 7:50, 19:05 with Kanga. But I'll be right back tomorrow for another edition of the news in English language. From here is goodbye.